Rock DIY or do it you. I don't really have anything bad to say about the Kubota BX23S, but I just want to review some things that I've dealt with since using it, because others may experience it or have experienced it. So haven't had any issues with the front loader. Just some things to be aware of if you're trying to secure a load of whatever in the front loader and you use a chain or whatever to secure the load. Just be aware that these eyelets, I don't know what grade steel this is, but these eyelets bend very easily. The top lip will also bend pretty easily. So some of these things that I'll discuss are just things that I've already covered in a previous video, but just to add some awareness. Be aware that if you're working around a bunch of branches, especially if they're on the ground and you're just trying to move them or scoop them up. I did have a branch that went up underneath the front loader and traveled its way up right under the grill. Well, this guard that's supposed to protect it, and it went right through the front grill. Luckily, all it did was damp. This is a real light plastic, so that got damaged. Not quite sure how I feel about the seat, how you have to unlatch it to turn it around. It's not very stable, and it just seems like if you're continuously switching it back and forth, that at some point it's going to give out, because when it's secured, it's okay. Whether secured to the front or the back, it's okay when it's locked down, but when you're turning it, it just doesn't feel very stable. You definitely don't want to leave anything here in the storage compartment. If you know it's going to rain, take it out, because it's not watertight. It does have a drain here at the bottom, and the 12-volt charge adapter, or whatever you want to use it for, is waterproof, but the actual compartment is not waterproof. I previously mentioned the missing cotter pin that I didn't see at time of purchase. It's nothing urgent, but at some point I'll get a new cotter pin to go on there. I didn't realize it until I got to 50 hours on the tractor, and this was mentioned in my previous video as well, but with these grease fittings, you can see that this one was probably put in after it was put together, but there were some that were painted, and I'm assuming it was to keep it all together while they were painting it. But what I didn't realize, because when I purchased it and picked it up, there was grease on all these fittings, so the assumption was that they were properly greased. But this fitting, which is on the upper and lower arm of the backhoe, and then that one was painted over, and then also this one down here was painted over, so those were not getting any grease. The issue with this one not getting any grease is that the majority of the first 50 hours I was using the backhoe, and because there was no grease in here at all, this bolt right here completely sheared off because it was not moving. And that the one that was on here was completely orange. So this is a replacement nut and bolt for it. I did find the bolt, but apparently left it somewhere or lost it when I was looking for a new one. This was one of my biggest issues, was at some point this nut and bolt down here on the backhoe bucket came off, and I did not know it. So this tab right here on the pin somehow, well, got in here and it got completely crushed. I was able to hammer it out and get it somewhat fixed. I haven't looked up the cost of replacing one of these, but I've used it since I fixed it, so it seems to be holding up right now. This piece right here, you see that it's crushed. And then here's the doubled up clamp that was also crushed. This piece used to be right here on the backhoe, and this is basically what holds up the reflective warning triangle. Not even sure how it broke off, but it came off. I was going to take it off anyways because it's not like I'm driving this down the road, mainly using it on my property. So I took it off, but if I do need it, I also have this other one right here that I can put the warning triangle on if I need to. Then I have noticed, and not sure it's the same with all tractors or anything that has hydraulics on it, but after sitting for a while, these stabilizer arms, they slowly drift out on both sides. I have to do some research and figure out if that's something that just naturally happens or it's an issue. The other thing is for the backhoe is it drifts as well. And the good thing is that these locking pins go on here, but it's really this one right here, because if I don't put this in, this bucket will, I haven't seen it drift all the way to the ground, but I can tell even now, after making sure that it was straight, it's already canted to the outside, so I know it's drifting. To open the hood, as the arrow indicates here, it's just to be able to push out and it'll pop up. But I don't know if this is common on all of them, but you actually have to pull up on it and then push it outward to get it to open. Not a big deal, but just something I've noticed with mine at least. If you have shoes or boots that are bigger than size 12, this deck is not easy to maneuver around when you wear a size 12 shoe. And then if you wear a different size shoe bigger than size 12, as I had to do during some work I did in the winter, it's very difficult to move your feet around because you have very limited space in here. While I was out walking around, I saw this broken O-ring sitting on the ground, and right away it told me it came from the Kubota tractor. And then I was a little concerned because I wasn't sure if it was something that actually served a purpose or not. But I believe it came off of here, and then I noticed that there's others on here as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't really serve any purpose, I think, but when they painted it, they probably just covered this with the O-ring prevent paint from getting down or in the piston. So I don't really think they serve any purpose, because even if raise or lower the stabilizers, it's always going to end up staying up here. While doing my review, I just happened to come across this light bulb just hanging down from the back lights. So just one other little thing. This little plastic molding or strip looks like it might have had some glue on it, but it constantly comes off of the hood. Seems like it's not wide enough, or the right material wasn't used if it was to serve any purpose, because it just keeps coming off. Please like, comment, or subscribe. Thanks again.